Hello and welcome to Storytime Knitting. When we last spoke, I told you I was going to tell you about my mother, the seamstress. She was a wonderful seamstress. And right now, my father was, I believe he was stationed in Santa Monica, or to put it in different words, different terms, my mother and my brother were in, they were in Santa Monica. My father, I believe, he was out to sea again. They might have been fresh from a stretch in Yuma and had freshly moved to there from Yuma, from where they were visiting Yuma. Number one, she had started her garden, her victory garden, because Winston Churchill wanted everybody to plant a victory garden. And the president said, you have to recycle your clothes. And that's exactly what she did. She picked up a used sewing machine and learned how to use a sewing machine. I don't know how. I don't have that knowledge how she used it, but she learned to use it very well. Maybe she took some lessons. I don't know. She tailored her own clothes. She did it well. She made suits for her son. Right now she only has one son. She eventually learned how to make a dress sailor's uniform for a 6-year-old. I've seen pictures and it looks incredibly well. It's down to the trim, the trim, the whole thing. It was made perfect. It looks great. I think he just wore it out. It didn't go bad or anything. He wore it out. I think the kids slept in it. And then when my other brother came along, she found a pair of jeans, and she made those grown-up jeans into little baby jeans for him. She made them, and they looked just like Levi jeans, but she made them big enough for diapers, and she put snaps on them so that she could do the diapers, but they looked very nice. And she was very good with making things from scratch, and just sewing things, looking at things and just sewing them on a whim, and making her victory garden and getting to know the cobbler. God, she got to know the cobbler real well. I don't know how she figured this stuff out. I really don't. But she did. And she fixed things. instead of buying things new or calling somebody up, she learned how to fix things herself. And she ended up by buying one little tool and another little tool and this and that, little by little. She got her own little toolbox going. And she learned how to fix things on her own. They didn't have a YouTube. They didn't have anything. Just by reading magazines and asking people for help, because this is a little girl from Yuma. And from Santa Monica, and she was in Santa Monica. She didn't know anybody. Anyway, she did good, very good. What I do know, and this is the part that I know of, is that she always had tailored clothes, always. I have no idea where she learned how to sew. But we always had a 4th of July picnic. And my brothers and my father and my uncles, they would go around and they would, ask people if they wanted to pick up, if they wanted to have people they would ask people if they wanted their trash picked up or taken out, if they had some extra trash, extra big things of trash. And they would take it to the dump. Well, then they could find out if there was any dump pieces that could be repaired. And they would go and repair it. And this is how they learned to fix things. And that was a great way to learn how to fix things. And it was like, I could only equate it to being a grave robber. And I don't know. Excuse me. On 4th of July, every 4th of July we would have a picnic. It was more like a family reunion, because people would come from Arizona, I would say from Yuma, but it was more than just Yuma. It would be from different parts of Arizona, Flagstaff, different parts. Chicago, Los Angeles, and San Diego. And they would come down to the beach, and we would have, this is where I learned how the stories would come up. And I just love to hear the stories. Everybody would eat during the day and go and play at the playground or the beach or what have you, or there would be food all day, and it was nice, picnicky stuff. Well, a few days before, my brothers and my father would go to the dump. And I was embarrassed of this. They would go to the dump and they would find like an umbrella skeleton, maybe some other kind of skeleton, maybe a beach chair that was out there. And the boys would get their spray cans out and pound out the dents, spray it out, let it dry, clean it up, spray it out and let it dry. Ta-da, a nice clean chair. The skeleton of the umbrella, well, my mother would take a pair of scissors and clean it up, take all the stuff off and the ucky gunky stuff, and lay the umbrella out and make a pattern out of newspaper. And with the pattern, she would take it back into the house, and the boys would pound out, straighten up everything else, wash it up, pound out the the dents and stuff, and clean it up, and spray paint it a couple times, put some lacquer on it, make it look nice and pretty and shiny and sweet and the whole bit. While my mother was in the house at nighttime, she would do all her daytime stuff, but at nighttime she would sew, and I would be laying on the couch watching old movies with her, but she would have the sewing machine up, the lights on, and the pattern would be out on the floor, and the leatherette would be on the floor, and all of the other little notions would be on the floor, so I was only allowed on the couch. And she had everything was clipped up and all of this, and she was doing all of her little, I swear she had like a Santa's workshop there, except for it was the summer and it was an umbrella she was working on, and she just zip and that was it. And she and the boys put it together, and we had a brand new umbrella. I was embarrassed because I knew it was a hunk of junk when they brought it in. I saw it. But everybody at the beach thought it was the bee's knees, the cat's meow, they thought it was marvelous, simply marvelous, darling. Anyway, and they told her that, she didn't need to go out and buy something like this just for that one day. And I started talking, and my brother clamped my mouth shut. And I didn't say anything. My mother took all this praise in, and then it turned into a happy thing. The next year, with that umbrella, she put some grommets on this thing, and we had a a windbreaker, so that we could chop up stuff. Well, it was nice to chop up stuff, and the wind wouldn't blow the fire out of for the barbecue, but it would blow the barbecue, the smoke. We couldn't get rid of the smoke because there was this big, beautiful umbrella, and the windbreaker, and now where was all the smoke gonna go? So we got home, and she thought about it for a little while. And when we got home, just so that she wouldn't forget, when everybody was all cleaned up and everything, like a week later, what she did was she cut it up. And she got some fine mesh that you could see through, and she put that mesh in there. She sewed it in, and then she put some canvas that you could fold down, and then you could fold it back up so that the smoke could come up, but then later on, when it was getting cool, you could put the canvas back up. And that was nice. And my mother was a whiz. She was really, really smart. Now, to my dresses, she had a blast making my clothes, because the boys were great. She used to make my oldest brother, his clothes. It got to the point where she was a little bit tired, but she still had that thing where she needed to make his clothes, and they could be passed on to my other brother. And then the youngest one, he got either patched up clothes, or sometimes he got new clothes. But when it came to me, I got lucky and got some new clothes, but usually I got clothes for my cousin. Well, because she was a little bit how can I say it? She was a little bit bigger than me. I was a little on the smaller side. Anyway, I got this one dress of hers. It was a nice dress, but it was a hand-me-down. I thought, it's nice. And my mom had this way of looking at things. Like, like an artist sees a blank canvas and can envision stuff. Well, I saw a red dress, a red velvet dress that looked nice. She saw something different. God love her. She saw potential. I did not. I saw, well, okay, a new school dress. It'd go nice with some tennis shoes. Maybe I could wear it with some other type of shoes to wear to school. Anyway, so she could see in my face that I wasn't really thrilled with it, but it was an okay dress. I could wear it to school. So I hung it up, put it in my closet. Next day it was gone. She took it. Day after that, the sewing machine was humming. And she was working on something. Well, she put some white lace around the collar, white lace around the little puffy sleeves, both of them, white lace around the hem of the skirt. She put a little sheer white apron, but in the sunlight you could see almost a silver quality, a real sheer silver quality to it. So it was gorgeous. And yeah, 3 pearl buttons, if I didn't say that. It was beautiful. And I had black patent leather shoes. If you don't know what patent leather shoes are, they're the little black Mary Jane shoes with the shiny black leather. You know, they used to wear them a long time ago with little black, shiny black leather shoes with white socks and lace around the socks. And I thought I looked too good to be true. I had a little purse and white gloves and a sweater, white sweater over my arm, and I looked gorgeous. I wore that to Sunday Mass for a long time. Wouldn't wear it to school for nothing. That was my dress. I swear I was one of those little girls that would drink a little spot of tea on the Titanic with my little gloves and whatnot. Oh boy. Well, it was fun. It was really fun. And I learned a lot from my mom. Thank you, Mother. I don't think she thought she taught us a whole lot. But she did, God bless her. She could sew like nobody's business. She could. And she did. She helped me make my daughter's it was a what was it? A winch. What was it? A barroom wench's dress. And it was a costume for Halloween. It was really cute. Or not a barroom wench so much as a festival wench. And it was a fun dress. It was a maroon skirt, but what threw me was putting in those little grommets in the front part of the what was it? I forget what it's called. The thing, I guess corset. And she said, "Don't stress over it. It's not a big deal. It's just," and she made it so relaxing for me. It was just bodice. That's it. She said, "It's just like the shirt without the sleeves. It's just a bodice. And it's just a shirt without the sleeves. You make the You make this part just a little bit far apart, and then you put the ribbon through there. It's not a big deal. And here I am stressing about it. And she said, don't worry about it. And she had such a relaxing tone. And that's all I needed, to relax. And it wasn't hard at all. And I actually, I didn't have to look at the directions. She just kind of walked me through it, and it was no big deal. Because I just sewed it up, and putting the grommets in was an afterthought. It was not a big deal. And then my daughter was just making the hat with a bunch of ribbons, and we just, because I had all the ribbons, I had everything. And she had a blast during that. She was in middle school. And yeah, it was fun. We all sat on the floor, and she was making her little head thing with hot gluing the flowers on her head. And here my mom is just orchestrating the whole thing. And she knew how to do it. And she oh well, it was fun. We were all listening to her. My daughter thought it was me that was doing it, and I was looking at my mom. She was just kind of steering the whole ship. So yeah, it was a good old time. Oh well, and everything was coming across naturally. It really was. It was just going real smoothly. Anyway, it did good. She gave me the courage to do things that I didn't think I could do. And I never really thought that I could do it until somebody said, no, you can't do it. Then I figured, yes, I can. I can do it. Because I can hear this voice in the back saying, Margaret, Mary, pick up your feet. You can get it done now. That's when I know I can do it. When I'm told, no, you can't. And when I say no you can't to myself, that's when I know it's no you can't. But when somebody else tells me no you can't, no, that doesn't work. Anyway, the backyard. Okay, switch subjects. The patio. My mom figured out how to do the patio real easy. And I've never seen it done before, never seen it done since. Except in the cartoons. um, the Flintstones did it. I've seen it done in the movies. No, I saw it at, what is it? That fish tacos place. I can't think of the name. But she used to grow palm trees. And with the palm leaves, I think they're called palm fronds. She would cut those to trim her palm trees, and instead of throwing them away, what she would do is put those on her patio, on the frame, on top of the frame of her patio, and cover it, and that would be the shade. And she would do that all the way across. I thought that was very ingenious. And for the next, the next row, there. Now I saw that on the Flintstones. Maybe that's where she got the idea. I don't know. But that's a very good idea, don't you think? Well, I do. I think it's a very good idea. And she kept up with her victory garden until we moved to a house, and then it turned into a rose garden. And we got a bunch of trees, fruit trees. I think that's where I got my love of fruit trees. And but sewing, I love to sew. I do. And knitting, I love to knit. It's very good for you too. Not only is it good for your, does it calm you? And it's very calming, it's very soothing, but it's good for your hands. It's good for your arthritis. It's very good. And it helps with the circulation because you're moving your joints and your fingers. It's good for your circulation. It is. So, it's been over 30 minutes and I have to get to the knitting, and I will be back next time when we will talk about something else. Okay, so see you then, I hope. Okay, bye-bye.